Hey guys, welcome back to the Head Up Rugby League podcast. Today we're joined with Josh and Connor. It's just the three of us today. How are we doing?
Great.
Yeah, not bad at all. How are you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Going back to the originals, just us three. Today we're going to go an unusual route, but we decided to look at the top 50 highest paid players in the NRL at the moment. And this is a bit of controversy with all the salary caps going around when many clubs we think they're over capped, but you never know. But we're taking our lists, by the way, from News Corp. So the list is just coming from there. So if you guys have a different list, don't blame us. This is the list we've got. So to start off, are we going to go from 50 to 100, Josh? Is that 50 to 1?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. We'll start off from the middle range and head up. So the first person we've got Josh Papali'i. What are our thoughts? He's at 700K at the moment.
Yikes. He's pretty awesome, but if some games he's only playing 30 to 35 minutes, is 700K worth it for? But sometimes his impact is good enough in those 30 minutes that can win you a game. But it feels like a bit overpriced. But I don't know.
I disagree with you, Josh. I got underpaid on that one. I would take him for 700K
for a 30-minute prop. 700K we're paying.
He play for sure.
What?
He can play more minutes for sure, I reckon.
Yeah, this year especially he's not played as much, but I think I would go 600K, but it's hard to sort of justify between, but I would go slightly overpaid. What about you, Liam?
Yeah, I'm a bit in between here. Like, I definitely if he wanted to be paid 750 or probably 750. I'd push it and I'd pay him that. But 700, I think that's a deal. I'm off Connor on that one, but I just think just the impact he's got for the Raiders, like he's a great prop for them, and I don't know. I think he's underpaid a little.
Should we do like an underpaid, properly paid, and overpaid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going overpaid.
I'm going properly paid.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go properly paid as well. Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Who's next?
We've got Zach Lomax from the Dragons. He's on 700K as well.
Oh mate, overpaid.
Yeah,
overpaid. He just does all these. He's got his moments, but he just does some stupid shit. He's so overpaid.
All the Dragons right now hating Connor.
Well, 51 to 100. Apparently, there's way more Dragons and Tigers players 50 to 100. And you're like, how the fuck do these guys, how do they afford all these guys? I think definitely overpaid as well.
I know that the Dragons and the Tigers have those older players on such bad contracts. They just got the worst luck. But I definitely think Zach Lomax is overpaid.
Yeah,
definitely. No, I gotta agree with you. I can't say anything more. Overpaid. Definitely. Don't know why he's up at 700, but it's got to have a reason. All right, what's the next one, Josh?
It's actually a Knights player, Tyson Frizzell. So I'm going to ask you, Liam, for 700K as well. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to go properly paid. I think he has his moments, but he's at the moment he's got to. I think we'll take him for a 700K, but keep perform. If he doesn't have a great next season, I think we should he should be paid lower. Or I don't know. He's doing all right this season though, so I think 700K is not bad for him.
I'm gonna join Liam on the properly rated. I think. I mean, he's kind of past his prime, but also at the same, he does his job. So I think that's not a bad pay for him, to be honest. What do you reckon, Josh?
Yeah, I was going to go either properly paid or slightly overpaid, around 650. So yeah, stay the same. The next one's quite interesting. Damien Cook for 700K. I think that's a bit of a bargain, to be honest. But what do you guys think?
Definitely underpaid.
Underpaid 100%. I think the things that he does
800, 900K, surely.
For the stuff that he does for South Sydney, he has his on and off weeks, but then also he has the potential take them skyrocket. I thought he would have been paid way more. I didn't know that he was that like low.
Oh.
I think that they're sleeping on Cook right now.
Well, that's the problem.
That's a deal though. That's a fucking scam. Like take him for 700k. Hell yes.
They're sort of screwed because apparently Damien Cook, Cameron Murray, and there's someone else are all off contract end of next year. Like they're gonna have to pay all of them like $1 million almost. Like, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Especially
how much?
What?
Sorry. How much would you? So okay, imagine you're the Rabbitohs manager. How much would you pay for Damien Cook?
I think there's not many great hookers, and I'd go 800, 850, 900, like around that. Not $1 million, but like for a hooker like him.
Yeah, I don't think $1 million, but definitely that 800 to 900 range.
I personally reckon he's got to be on the verge of $1 million.
He'd be close, yeah. It's just
he'd be close.
And all of them, they can't pay everyone $1 million. That's what they're going to struggle with in the future, especially the next person, is, Tom Burgess, 200k.
Yeah,
what?
He'll get $1 million though. Like if a bad team's offering a contract, he'll get $1 million.
Like the Dolphins or something, yeah. Because Tom Burgess's next was 700k.
Oh, overpaid.
Yeah. I don't think we need to say anything else.
I don't think we need to say much on that one. Yeah,
we'll get through these quite quick, so I think overpaid's good.
All right, moving on. I've got a Panthers boy, Isaiah Yeo at 710k.
Underpaid.
Extremely underpaid, bro.
Yeah,
extremely. That's an underpaid.
How much do you think he should be on, Connor?
Well, at the Panthers, like with the team that they got, I think that's the best contract he's gonna get, to be honest. But on a bad team, he's worth $1 million.
That's you can see a lot of people that you think, they could be. It's just most of them just take the pay cut to stay with a good team, which you probably would do, stay with your family. The next one's going to cause some controversy, but
Connor's favorite boy, Chad Townsend, 710k. What do you think, mate?
I low-key reckon that's underpaid. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what you guys think, but I low-key reckon that's underpaid.
I thought it was overpaid before the season, 100%, but I'm going properly now.
Yeah, I'm going properly paid. Yeah, I don't see him getting paid anymore, but I don't see him definitely dropping under 700.
What's the reasoning behind properly though? Like,
well, it's like you think of all the other halfbacks you can get. I guess you could be right because a lot of the halfbacks that are better than him are getting paid $1 million or like. So you could sort of get what you're talking about, but it's just. I think properly or like around 750 is fine. Like you think at the start of the season, everyone thought it was a terrible thing. And then next year he could have a shocker. You just don't really know, especially with an older halfback. But I think properly is fair enough, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. If he does win the finals, that could all of a sudden be, he could be the next Mill guy, but no.
Yeah, $1 million player, next Cowboys $1 million player.
Join the club.
Yeah. This next one's scary to me, like sad to me, because the Warriors offered this guy 1.1 million and he's only on 720. Joseph Manu, obviously underpaid.
Underpaid, bro. He should be a $1 million guy.
Underpaid, like a guy that can play any position like that is definitely like underpaid. The way that he goes about it is just definitely underpaid. Like he can move to fullback. He's the Kiwis fullback. Like he could just be. He's a stud anywhere he plays. So.
Yeah, it just proves you can't throw money at people, like the Warriors did 1.1 mil and he still just stays for 700, It's a bit like it's tough. Who's next there?
We've got in the Raiders at 720k again, Josh Hutchinson.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This one's a tough one because of the injury. It's like it's obviously overpaid, but it's like when he was in form in a couple of years, you'd say that's probably fair, but now it's just a tough one.
I definitely agree. Like when he was in form, he was a top 3 hooker in the league, like no debate. And that's when Cam Smith was there. So it's like he could be like the potential was like through the roof for that guy. So I don't know. I think he'll end up going back to Super League and just get his bag and retire. But he's obviously a top 3 hooker, so. It's kind of hard for his like even with the NBA, like when someone gets injured, it's just you forget about them, but they're also getting a bag. So, but no, I'm going properly. Yeah,
I got to agree with you boys. Properly paid. Like I can't say anymore. You guys have tipped off all the points.
We got to get through it. We're already 10 minutes in and we're only up to 42. So we might have to start doing underpaid. Maybe just one person gives a reasoning. But we've actually got Felice Kafusi here at 725K. And there's rumors that it's going up at the Dolphins. Not 100% confirmed, but probably makes sense that he'd join. What do you guys reckon for that?
Underpaid. I think he's a bloody. He stands out every game and he does his job and he does his work. And 725, that's a bloody deal to take him for the work he does for the Storm.
I'm going to go properly paid.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go as well. Okay, there's a few ones that are tough because this is current season and so Payne Haas is the next one at 748K, but next year that's going to like 1 million or whatever, so it's hard. But at the moment, I'd say it's underpaid or maybe just slightly underpaid. But next year when it goes to 1 mil, it becomes that sort of question. But yeah, currently I'd say slightly underpaid.
At the moment, properly paid. Next season, overpaid. For me.
So it's tough. The next one has been one of the ones that people have roasted a lot. Luke Thompson for 750K. It's a bit of a tough one, but I think do we just skip over that one? Or?
Overpaid max, buddy.
Yeah.
Why are they paying him 750?
That's probably the shit teams always get stuck doing this, like have to overpay someone that's probably an average player and can go one or two ways. It's just gone bad.
Do you know what happens to the money that they don't use of their salary budget? Is it just...
I don't know in the NRL because most teams are normally over, but in the NBA you actually have to. That's why you see some real shitty deals because you actually have to get to a certain mark of the salary cap. But in the NRL, I'm pretty sure most are pretty close to being over the salary cap, or they'll just save it for the next season, sort of thing. So,
moving on, we've got the Raiders at 750K. Joseph Tarpany.
I think that's probably maybe underrated because there's talks that teams, because he's November 1st, teams can offer him a contract. There's talks that he might get offered like 900K to 1 mil from certain teams. So I think it's probably properly or slightly underpaid, to be honest.
I definitely agree with the underpaid. The guy's a unit. I agree with the underpaid for sure. When you watch Raiders games, just what he does for the team, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. Same with you. Yeah, he's just a star for the Raiders, so I don't know why he's not getting paid more, but it is what it is. All right, moving on to this one should be self-explanatory. Ryan Papenhausen at 750K.
Extreme.
Yeah, it's just the injuries is the problem. Same with Bromwich is that even if they get injured, you have to pay them, obviously if he plays the whole season, it's insane, but it's if you pay someone, especially Turbo, to pay whatever you pay them and they only play half the season, it's a bit, and it's not even his fault. Some of them have just been freak accidents. So I'd go underpaid, but if it happens, it keeps happening. You're wondering, is it worth paying this guy? Yeah. 36 is Jordan Mclean, 750K for another prop.
Yeah. What do you think, Connor?
I think properly paid the way that he's been playing at the moment, but the way that he was playing a year ago, I would have said definitely overpaid. But the way that he's playing at the moment, I'll give him properly rated.
Yeah.
I'd go properly paid. He's done well for the Cowboys.
It's quite funny how contracts work though, eh? 1 year you think, it's underpaid, the next year it's overpaid. And that's with quite a lot of the players, It's hard to give people long-term contracts.
All right. We're going to move on to the Storm for Jerome Hughes at 750K.
Will you take that one, Joshy, super coach?
Yeah. Same sort of thing, teams are offering him 1 mil and then decides to stay with the Storm for a bit cheaper. So, it's obviously underpaid for what he is.
Haven't they? Every team wants him, don't they?
The Warriors did a few of the. I think the Warriors and the Titans did, but then he ends up staying at Storm for a few $100K less. So definitely underpaid, but same sort of thing. He's quite small for a halfback, but you see in some games he's just looks.
I think he's one of those players where he's happy to take that paycheck though. He doesn't really want the big bucks. He just wants to stay at a team that's winning all these games. So yeah. All right, moving on to the Eels with Regan Campbell at 750k.
This is a tough one. I'd say at times I think he's so overpaid. At times I'll go properly just because at time I switch between him so many times.
Yeah,
I'd slightly over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same with you. I'm like just slightly over. Yeah, I'm in that range between like overpaid and properly paid. Yeah.
Just to save some bit of time here, we'll group a few players. So Fisher, Harris, and Kikau are 33 and 31, both 750k and 760k. I think, do you reckon both underpaid, overpaid? Obviously, Kikau is getting the big move to Bulldogs next year. What are you guys' thoughts?
I'm between over and properly.
I was going to say properly for both, to be honest.
I was going to go properly. Yeah, I think they both have an impact. So, yeah, they're properly.
The player I sort of skipped at number 32, Jack DeBellin at 750k. It's a really tough one.
I see why you skipped him. Move on.
Yeah.
He's over 100%.
Yeah.
Move on.
Moving on to the Warriors.
800k people. Should we just list all of them, the 800k people, and talk?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
We're 17 and a half minutes in, and we're up to 30.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. All right, we've got 30 to 25. We've got Dallin Williams-Niak. We've got Adam Reynolds, David Clemmer, Wade Graham, Tino, I cannot pronounce his last name, for the Titans, Clint Gutherson. So they're all at 800k. What do we think?
Yeah,
I heard 2 or 3 names that I think belong in that list.
Yeah.
Reynolds and Tino, 100%. Gutherson
is a bit.
I mean, he's in the Eels and he's like their, kind of star, like big proposition. But they're the only 3. I don't know why Dallin and Clem are in there. Like, come on.
And Wade Graham, yeah. What?
Huh?
Is Gutherson leaving next year?
Nah,
I think 800k is fine for Gutherson. Like, it's just he's another one, as I've seen Supercoach this year, can be amazing one week and then so you take that. DWZ was the guy I was so shocked because I told Dan about it. He was like, "What the fuck?" Like, because we got him on a mid-season transfer. I thought it was like on a cheap deal, but obviously not. That's a bit of a shocker. But yeah, any other thoughts on that list, on that like little group, Liam?
I mean, David Clemmer, I'd go slightly overpaid. But
that's why you guys were trying to get rid of him, to try and like hopefully get rid of his salary with.
Yeah, I'd pay like 700, maybe 650, maybe.
Yeah,
that's probably the range I'd pay.
Tino's pretty impressive. 800k captain, fucking does everything for them. Like, that's an impressive signing.
All right, moving on to the Warriors boy at 24, the Tohu Harris at 810k.
He's probably the only one that I actually think, like, only Warrior that I think sort of worth it. 810k for him still a bit iffy considering his injury history, but when he's actually playing, he's just like, he's a budget Mannering, but like just tackles all the time, like our captain. I think probably 750 is what I'd be happy with, but you got to take it to get someone from the Storm like him. So I'd probably say properly or slightly overpaid, but yeah, you have to do that to get him.
All right, next. Oh, you got something, Connor?
Yeah, I was going to say overpaid, but I could see as a fan how that's like properly paid. Like players that you'd love that you'd rather just keep at the club and pay a bit more. Yeah,
it's hard to get people from the Storm.
Yeah, I'm the same with you, Connor.
It's just the injury. If he stayed healthy. But...
I think that's the same with every player, though, Josh.
Not the ones that are always healthy.
All right, moving on. We'll join the next 2 together since they're both in the Rabbitohs on the same page as Cameron Murray and Latrell Mitchell, 850k. What do we think?
Both underpaid.
Yeah. That's a fair statement.
You can see the issue in South's coming, though, with Damien Cook 700, these 2 850. They're probably all going to get close to $1 million. It's like someone's going to have to leave. It might be Tom Burgess at 700k. I might put that out there, maybe, but we'll see about that. But yeah, there's a big few years coming for them if they can keep all their players.
Most definitely. All right, at 21, we've got Luke Kerry at 850k again.
That's a tough one. I'd probably say
Bro.
overpaid or yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I can see why they did it. Like after him winning the premiership with the Rabbitohs and looking, but it sort of hasn't gone as well as they probably hoped, to be honest.
Yeah, and obviously won the Clive Churchill medal with Cooper Cronk injury. So
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's properly. He's just had bad luck with injury, but it's just one of the things there.
Moving on to the top 20. At 20, we've got Adam Fanua-Blake at 850.
we should make that 860 because he's actually been fined today for doing a celebration for Manasi Fainu. So he's actually cost the club 860k now. So like for him, he's like world-class prop, but it's like, yeah, for 850k, it's a bit of a shocker, to be honest. For a prop, that's the thing. If it was for a halfback or a fullback, you'd be like, okay, I can sort of see it. But he's only playing 40, 45 minutes a game. So it's hard to justify that. But yeah.
So would you like, how much would you offer like a prop then?
It's hard because it's like the same thing. To get someone to come to New Zealand and stay long term, it's quite hard, but probably normally he'd be around 650, 700 like that other group of props, but you have to pay overs at times and it is just hard on a prop. They play 40, 45 minutes a game. It's hard to really value that, but yeah.
Hey, Liam.
Yep.
I have a question.
Okay, go.
How much is Papenhausen getting paid this year?
What?
748. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Extremely paid. Papenhausen the best prop in the league and he's getting overpaid.
I think it's like 750, 700, 750 I'd be happy with, but yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
No, extremely overpaid, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, that's a fair point.
I mean, that's just a personal opinion, you know. Like,
I reckon he might win Player of the Year this year for the Warriors. That's the best thing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, because like as you said, Josh, if you think about it as a different position, then yeah, I'd get why you pay him that much. That's why I was like
he's
wondering.
been one of our best players this season, but it's just for a prop to pay 850k for them is ridiculous.
All right. Now moving on to 19, we got Andrew Fafita at 850k again.
Overpaid to the max, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And moving on to Connor's favorite player, Valentine Holmes, 875k.
I want to let you guys go first because I want to see your guys' opinion on it.
It's the same thing with Townsend. Before the season, I'd been overpaid definitely, but this season he's had, it's almost like you could make the case that he's probably underpaid now. I'd probably go either probably properly paid, but it's like kind of said it before about the versatility. Even it up to 900, and I'll say properly paid. We'll go under.
Yeah, I'm in the range of underpaid to properly paid. If you raise it up to 900.
Goal kicking as well, you know, for a guy that's like on the wing, centers, like it's insane. 40
because he took a pay cut as well because he got offered $1 million and he took a cut to get that money. So I think he's extremely underpaid. He's been our best player this year, I reckon, apart from Cotter. So I think he's underpaid.
So how much would you offer him if you could, Connor?
To be fair, not too much more, you know. I think it's worth $1 million, but
also the 950 come in.
950.
Keep going down.
900.
I'll give him 925. How's that?
That's what happens is the problem. It's like we look at this, be like, oh, 900k, but it's you're bidding against other teams and your age.
Yeah.
That's the thing we can't grasp is that you just don't know that inside. Some of them are player options, some of them are so it's just hard. Who's the next one?
We have Jack Whiten at 900k.
I think properly. You could make the case for $1 million, but it's like I think that's a really good deal for the Raiders.
Yeah, I'd go properly as well.
That one's definitely a tough one, eh? I'll probably stick with you guys and go properly.
You can make the case for all three of them, I think, but I think that's fine.
We'll wrap the next two together. We've got Jake Trbojevic and Jason Taumalolo, 900 each.
That's tough.
The thing is, last season Tamalolo, no, extremely. But then this year, I'd give it properly. I think just because he was getting like 20 minutes a game, 30 minutes a game. So, but now he's playing more minutes. I'd give him properly, and then Jake, Jake, I'd give properly to over. I think
because he's the captain, he does so. Like, I think it's probably that it's the same. At least he plays most of the games. You know, it's not like a prop that only plays 20-40. He's at least a workhorse. This next one's a bit. These next couple are a bit iffy. These next three.
I'll go. We'll go next next two together as Moses Mumbai and Matt Lodge, both at 900k.
Both overpaid as if.
Yeah, I'd go Matt Lodge overpaid. Yeah, Moses as well.
Half Lodges, and it's probably still like he's a fucking joke. Sick of him.
You hate him every time he plays the Warriors.
No, the Broncos have had to pay him out 600k. We're having to pay him out 700. It's ridiculous. That's why it's 900k. It's all these other teams paying him out for leaving. But Mbai's the same. He's a shocker.
All right, number 12, I've got Tavita Punga Jr. at 925k for the Bulldogs. Nice reaction, Josh.
You can see why they did it, but it's like I think they thought they were getting like a Payne Haas, like sort of David Feeder, obviously not as good, but like, you know, like you could see why they did it, but it just didn't go so well.
All right. Oh,
I love to be the Payne guy, and I think he's just overpaid, bro. Like, just not the guy.
Most definitely. All right, number 11, we've got Cameron Munson, 950k. Is he worth the million?
Yeah.
Under 100%. Underpaid.
Apparently the Dolphins are going to offer him 1.2 million on November 1st for 4 years. Okay. We've got 10 minutes. We've got 10 people. Let's go.
Top 10. Mitchell Moses, Connor's favorite super coach player for the year, 950k.
Over. What's your guys' opinion?
Josh?
Over.
I was going to go properly to over. I would probably say 900, but yeah. It's the same sort of thing. It's these guys that are like loyal to the teams once they like become good at that team, and that are like part of like you couldn't really see them anywhere else now, but I'd say properly to over at like 900k would probably be right.
Yeah, I'd go properly as well.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, number 9, Luke Brooks at 960.
Skip past that one. Extremely. Next one.
David Fafita at number 8, $1 million.
Overpaid. Keep going.
You feel bad for them because I thought that was the starting of the season and stuff, and he looked good for them for 1 year, and then it's just a disaster.
Yeah. All right. Jesse Bromwich, number 7 at 1.05 mil.
This shocks me the most out of anything. Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was about to say, keep going.
I was so shocked when I saw that. Like, it's the same thing with the props. You're paying $1 million for a prop that plays, like, obviously it's world class, but you wonder what the Dolphins are paying him. You know, like. Okay.
We've got Tommy Turbo at 1.1. 1.1 mil.
Eesh.
This is a tough one.
I think that's.
I'd go properly paid. Just the player he is.
You think for 2 or 3 years he's played what, like 30 games, 40 games, and when he could have played like 90?
Yeah.
I mean, but then you think about him last year when he played heaps of games.
Yeah.
You'd think he's underpaid, but then also he's kind of overpaid now. So it's like, I'm going to go properly, meet in the middle.
If we did this last year, we'd be like, he's worth 1.5 million. Where now it's it's every year it changes. 5.
James Tedesco at 1.1 mil.
Still underpaid.
Yeah.
But then
is he worth more than Cleary?
I'd say properly. 1.1's properly. I think
I genuinely think he's more than Cleary. Surely.
Ooh.
Come on.
I'd go properly paid for him.
I don't rate Cleary that high, so.
We know.
Yeah.
I know. I obviously know you guys won on the next one. Ponga at 1.1.
Over 100%.
What are your thoughts, Liam? We both think over. I'm more curious in your thoughts.
I'm gonna go over, but not by much. I think he's that 950 to $1 million player guy.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So yeah, so not much over.
Sounds.
But
He's so lucky to sign that contract.
With the recent debacle, I don't know if he'll be with the club anymore.
Apparently they have to, because they've signed him for a 5-year deal. They'll have to pay him out. It's so lucky. If he didn't sign that deal, they could have got rid of him.
Did you see that they've Kalen Ponga and Kurt Mann are suing the club?
Yeah, because they drug
because they did the drug test, which is illegal to do.
But it's like Kalen Ponga, if he didn't sign that contract, he would have been fucked. Now he's got a 5-year, 5.5 million contract. They have to pay him out. But yeah, comparing to these guys, Ponga and Hunt, that's the like that's when it gets, because Hunt's 1.1 as well. Like obviously this season he's been awesome, probably going to win Dally M, but a couple years prior he's been a shambles for them. So it's what do you take that or do you not?
All right, next number 2. Daly Cherry Evans. How much do you think he's on, Connor?
1.3.
1.2.
See, the thing with that is, like, he's been loyal to the club, so it's like, if it's underrated or overrated, you love a loyal player that's like good,
You sort of have
I'm gonna go slightly underpaid. Slightly
underpaid.
If I was, to be fair, if I was a Manly fan, I'd say like properly rated at best.
I was gonna say 1 mil, but yeah, because you think you pay like Cleary, you're paying 1.3 mil. He's winning you a grand final. Cherry Evans, you're barely scraping the finals and maybe not even getting the So who's the final one, Liam? I wonder who it is. We haven't mentioned him.
Well, you've already mentioned him. It's Cleary for 1.3.
Yeah,
and I did some research into this.
He's
14% of their salary cap.
That's proper.
That's insane.
I'm going.
What are you going?
Over.
Yeah, I'm going.
He couldn't even beat Queen.
Clive Churchill medalist.
Yeah, but could he beat Queen?
Maybe properly to over, like in that range.
If they go back to back, all of a sudden they're calling him the next great and the next GOAT. Like,
Yeah.
That's how quickly it can change. But the funny thing is with his deal is that if Ivan gets sacked, he can walk. That's part of the contract. So imagine turning away $1.3 million because your dad got sacked, like there's no way that's even going to happen. They said it's pretty much an investment in Ivan and Nathan, the 1.3 million, because as long as you have Nathan, you have Ivan,
Yeah. You could never see him at a different club though, right? Like imagine him playing for like
the Warriors
Roosters or something.
His favorite club, boyhood club.
Imagine that last year before retirement, he comes to the Warriors and wins them a grand final. Joshua Bevan in heaven.
Okay, that's the 50. Just before, we've got 2 minutes. What was the one that shocked you the most? We'll go around. Connor, you got one in particular, or a cut that shocked you the most? The price,
There's not gonna lie, there's a few.
Yeah,
there's quite a few.
I'd go Adam Blake. He was definitely up there. Dallin, he was definitely up there as well. I thought he was on a lot deal.
Just Warriors players, Just Warriors players.
Yeah, Tohu as well.
It sounds like a Warriors hater, but even Luke Thompson. I thought Luke Thompson was on a lot less money than that. That was just ridiculous. But what do you reckon, Liam?
I gotta go. Adam Blake, Luke Brox. I didn't realize he was that high paid. And if I had to go one more, probably Damien Cook. He should be up way more. Yeah. So
AFB's overpaid, but you guys are acting like what are we paying it? 400K? I'm going Bromwich. I think 1.5 mil. Like, because you hear about like the Fafitas at $1 mil, Ponga at $1 mil. I've never ever heard someone say he's $1 million man. It's crazy.
Do you think? Right, just before we wrap up, I just have one question, just a quick yes or no. Do you ever think in the future we'll have a $2 million player?
yeah, because it's just going to keep going higher. You know, that's what they say. They say it's just
Yeah.
going to keep getting higher and higher. Just one thing before we go. Tomorrow, 1 year ago today, we started Hit Up Rugby League. Who would have thought we'd be here today? Just quick shout out to that. Yeah, well done. Who would have
Well
thought?
done.
Is we all
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
thanks for all the appreciation, all the followers, all the questions, all the support, and here's to another year. Hey boys.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate now. Yeah. Okay, sweet. We're going to celebrate. See you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.